Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Mary Sisters Talk Show. I am your host, Becca Wilson. This show was created to deal with topics and issues that women are facing today. Whether you are married, single, widowed, or divorced, this show is for every sister. Please be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and every Tuesday on our Mary Sisters YouTube channel at 12 noon. If you like our show, please subscribe, like, and share.
We are sisters, married sisters, living our best lives, being blessed wives with our misters. We are sisters, we are married sisters.
You go ahead and tell that story.
Yeah, so that was Friday. Saturday, I'm still kind of, out of it. Sunday, which was Easter, I woke up and I just could not breathe. And I was sweating and I was hot, and I just kept saying, I need oxygen. I kept telling the nurse all morning, I said, I need oxygen. Can you give me some oxygen? She's like, they kept checking my stats and they're like, you are fine. There's nothing wrong with you. I'm like,
Yes,
I cannot breathe. I just can't breathe. And so they brought in fans, they brought in all kind of stuff trying to cool me off. They, took my gown off. I mean, they got rags on me and everything. And I'm like hot and out of breath. And so finally a doctor came in. She said, what is going on? I said, I cannot breathe. I need oxygen. She checked me. She said, I don't see anything wrong with you. I was like, I don't know, please. I don't know. I cannot breathe. So she said, okay, I'm going to send you down. So they sent me down to get a CAT scan. When they sent me down to get a CAT scan, I had a pulmonary embolism. There was a blood clot that was traveling in my stomach.
Wow.
That was traveling. It was like traveling up my lungs. It was taking my breath away. I could not breathe. And so they rushed me over to, I was at the women's hospital. Then they took me by ambulance over to the women's, St. Vincent's Hospital.
Yes.
I had to have, a stent that was placed in my leg to stop the blood clot from going to my lungs. So I was in ICU at the St. Vincent's Hospital.
And at that point,
my baby,
I was forced to leave.
Yeah, my baby was at the women's hospital where he was, but he couldn't come over to the St. Vincent Hospital because of COVID. So I was in ICU by myself over here, and I just kept telling them, listen, I need to get back over to the women's hospital. My baby is over there. And then at one point they called me and it was like, we're going to send your baby home. I was like, no, you're not sending my baby home.
Wow.
I'm coming back over there. Or I'm going home and me and my baby going home.
Oh,
so
goodness.
I go back to the women's hospital. I'm there a total of 7 days. Now, normally a C-section, 2-3 days, you're good, ready to go. So I'm there 7 days. The 7th day, I noticed that my legs started to swell. And I told the doctor, she said, okay, well, make sure you drink your water. The blood clot was still in my stomach. All they did was stop it. There was nothing they could do to remove it or anything. They just stopped it.
Wow.
So they told me, when you go home, you'll start passing clots. The blood clot will just begin to dissipate, and then what's left of it will go back into your body. It will just, reabsorb.
Okay.
I said, okay, so 7th day we go home. I'm at home maybe 2, 3, 4 days at the max. I'm at home. I was swelling as I'm going home. I'm swelling. Wow. And I'm so big that my father was like, something ain't right.
Wow.
You are bigger now than you were
when you were
pregnant.
My
and so that very day, my husband went to go get us some food, and he comes back and he's sitting down. He's sitting on the floor. I'm sitting in my little chair, and baby, she's right here. I'm rocking her, put her down to eat my food. I sneezed. When I sneezed, my stomach busted wide open.
Shut your mouth, Jesus.
And the blood clot that they said would pass exploded. Yes.
Pastor Henry, what in the world was going through your mind at that time? Because all but ready to pass out, right? Because it's like, Lord.
This one thing after another, yeah.
Yeah, and it was, I was initially, I'm thinking to myself like, you gotta do something. Let me get my baby out of here because blood is everywhere. It's toxic.
Oh my God.
We called the ambulance, and what was so crazy is that she gets up and she walks down the steps. I guess her adrenaline was going like, honey, you don't need to be walking.
Right.
Like, you need to have a seat.
It was something out of a horror film.
It was crazy. I've never seen it.
Blood was everywhere, and it was pouring out of me. It came out of my belly button.
Whoa,
My stomach
God.
literally busted open, and it was pouring out like a fountain. And then when I got up, it started spraying. I was it was like something out of a movie. I couldn't believe it.
Right. Oh my
They
goodness.
took her to the hospital, and of course, there is where she stayed for the next
15 days.
15 days.
Yeah.
And so we were communicating virtually, and so I'm in this house again,
Yes.
this empty house
With a new baby.
with a new baby,
Yeah.
as I was in an empty house with a new son,
And just discovering that that's 9 and 9.
Yeah.
It's like, Lord, what are you trying to
what?
say right here?
And that's
But I guess what was different about this time is that I felt like I was reminded again. That's why I said all things work together for good to them that love the Lord and called according to His purposes. I thank God for my previous experience
Yeah.
going through that with Felicia, because believe it or not, it gave me crazy confidence in this next experience with her, because I'm thinking like, okay, God, I remember when I went through this last time.
A point
I
of
was dealing
reference.
with her because I was taking some shots because I was graduating and I was
Okay.
going to another level. So I said to myself, and I started like Joy and I would talk, via FaceTime every day, and I was telling her, when you come out of this,
Yes.
our relationship is going to go to another level.
Yes.
Our ministry is going to go to another level. Because keep in mind, at this time, I'm still pastoring a church. I'm pastoring the pastor at Newburgh. So every Sunday, even though I was going there with my phone, I was recording, preaching the messages to the people. And I noticed, where I was looking at other churches who had these grand productions, and I was just going there with my phone. And my followership went from like 20 people to 50 people to 100 people to 1,000 people that were watching ministry while I was going through this.
Wow.
And I told you, I said, when you come home from this, I see our ministry going here, and I see God doing great things,
Yes.
in your life. And
Yes.
here's the thing. My wife is so funny because she always, I'm sure a lot of women baby battling with the whole weight loss thing. And so it was crazy. When she came out of this situation, she came home and she was so small. And I'm like, see, look at what God did. Not only did He heal you, but He gave you weight loss surgery. You didn't have to pay for it.
Oh, wow.
And I think through that time, I really do. I think it just brought us closer, even closer together. There was a different style of, watch this. There was a different style of value and appreciation
Come
that I have for Joy through this situation, because I'm like, man, you're not here. And because I'm a firm believer that if a person's presence isn't adding value to your life, their absence won't mean a thing. But I'm like, you're not here, and I'm feeling this, you know what I'm saying? And likewise, when she came home, she'll tell you every morning, I made sure she had breakfast. And
see, because when I came home, so 15 days in the hospital, I had to have another procedure. They had to insert a tube, a drainage bag, because this blood clot, yes, it bursted, yes, but I had cysts and abscess that had grown in there, so I was infected. So they had to,
My God.
I had antibiotics in the hospital. I had antibiotics, coming through my IV at the hospispital. This bag was to drain all of it, but then I had to go home on the bag.
Oh, man.
had a nurse.
So I had to have home health care. And not only that, I had to have a PICC line, so there was an IV that traveled in my neck, down my arm,
Wow.
that he had to give me the antibiotics every day.
But what moved?
And so I'm just like, man, you can't find people like that.
My God.
Through, like your vows, through sickness
My God.
and in health. For somebody, and every morning he'd get up and he'd fix me breakfast. Even though I wouldn't eat it, because anytime food get down in my stomach, I'd be like, oh my God,
Yeah.
So I was eating little stuff, but he made sure I had breakfast. He made sure I had lunch. He made sure I had snacks and dinner. And the church, they were bringing meals, and there was so much support that was, surrounding me during that time. But
Yeah.
man, I just keep thanking God and appreciating God for a husband that
Yeah,
was there
that's it.
right by my side the
That's
entire
it.
time.
Wow. Wow, that consistent. And like you said, that just showed you another level of your husband.
And gave me a deeper appreciation
Yes. That is, and I had to have a moment of silence behind that. Because, that is just, that's powerful.
Yeah.
That is very powerful. And like I said, to see the love and continue on growing in love.
Yeah.
That is just so amazing. And I'm thinking about, you, Pastor Henry, and looking at this, and even though, your faith level, you said, was up even more, but was the enemy trying to put those thoughts in your mind? See, I got you back in the same situation,
Yeah, absolutely, he did. But again, there was just, I just, at that time, I was just so overcome with peace and confidence, because I just knew, I'm like, this story doesn't end this way.
Come on.
God, there's just too much more that we have to do. And I just really regarded it as, this is just one step into this testimony, This is just going to be the next book or the next conference or the next experience, And again, like I said, what the enemy might have meant for evil, God got glory out of it, because and that's one thing I will say, throughout this whole 10 years of being married, 11 years been together, one thing I think has been consistent is that challenges have never drifted us further apart. Yeah. They've always brought us closer together, whereas I've seen it go the other way in couples that we've had to counsel and different things and such. We've never retreated from a fight,
Come on.
And I remember, and I
wasn't packing your bags. I'm out.
A funny story quickly. I went to when I came to her house. I was just being nosy, and I was snooping around in her stuff, and I went in her room, and I came across a bus schedule, and I remember I picked up that bus schedule and I brought it to her. I said, Joy, what is this? And she looked at me, you don't know what that is? I said, I know what it is. What are you doing? She said, Henry, this is a bus schedule. I said, what do you have a bus schedule for? She said, I have a bus schedule because I have 2 children and I don't have transportation. And I don't wait for anybody to take me where I need to go. If I got to get where I'm going, I need to get my kids and get on the bus. And that right there said, you know what, this is the kind of woman you want to be connected with, because this is a woman that knows what it's like to ride.
Come on.
But will push and will get out and, find a ride if you need one.
If you need one.
And so,
don't just sit and waddle, helpless.
That's been the sum total of the relationship, that in times when we were riding high, she was there, but when we've had to push, kick, and scream, we've always done that together. So I think, I think early on God just allowed us to do this crash course, this accelerated course, this difficult course, so that we can get this ministry on our belt, so that we can serve more people.
That's
now.
it. Yeah.
Well, you can hear this dynamic duo, like I said, at New Birth. But tell us a little bit about how that ministry is going for you.
New Birth Fellowship Church is awesome. We thank God. Our conviction is your new life can begin with a new birth. 3515 West Vermont Street. And that was unique in itself because, I took over the church in December of 2019. When we first took over, it was very feeble and in critical condition. It may have had 40 members there. And when we took over, it leaped from 40 to 100 plus overnight.
Wow.
And we were coastlining. We were going great. Then, of course, the pandemic hit, and we had to close down the doors of our church. And had to reinvent ministry. And here's the thing, Joy and I, we never let any grass grow under our feet. We were, doing videos and just keeping people engaged. And so we reopened the church. And since that time, the church has just been moving at accelerated speed. We are graduating new members, every month. The church is going very well. It's I can go on and on about New Birth.
Yeah,
New Birth
it's
is
been a
A
blessing.
new birth. I like the name. It was a new
church
birth.
Yes.
where no matter, my conviction is this: we're not concerned about the path that led you to new birth.
Come on.
We're just
That's not
concerned
our
that
concern.
you're here. God can, whatever your stronghold is, wherever your struggle is, come here, and
Come
God
on.
can change you and transform you here. And that's been the testimonials of many people. So
New creation. Come
please,
on now. Come on.
check out New Birth.
Yes, definitely. That is just, like I said, just so powerful. This is a powerful, dynamic duo. And God is just truly blessing you guys.
Yes.
And, and like I said, or like I'm hearing, it's His people.
Yeah.
Sure.
Those are His people. So, just you're doing the work,
Yeah.
and going through the process that you guys went through. You're stronger now than ever before.
Yeah.
And you're only going to get stronger.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
My God, that is awesome. I do have to throw this in because this was a question that I had on my on my mind now. Because hubby is handsome. And dealing with trust issues at that time, just bless them. Just bless a sister. Just bless somebody. Bless somebody. How, and being in ministry, we know, and she's beautiful too. So did you guys have to, because you had the wrong kind of folk want to try to flock to you at times.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys have to do boundaries, talk about it, do boundaries?
We definitely had to talk about it. But what we learned is, listen, you cut them off at the door, then we don't have to deal with it. And so I don't have to deal with that situation with him. If women, are smiling and hee and ha at him, that's fine. Go ahead. You know what I mean? Because I understand he's going to make the appropriate response.
Come on now.
I can trust
him. Trusting him enough to
Yeah.
make the appropriate response. I love that.
Because again, what you allow is what will continue.
Shut
And
your
so
mouth.
when it
Say
comes to,
that.
That's it.
Lady Joy and I, we're just the truth of the matter is, it's not anything that is fictitious. It's real. We are just best friends, and everything we do as a partnership. We're partner in parenting. We're partner in finances. We're partner, in ministry, and so even when it comes to ministry, the way I approach ministry is I try not to do any style of ministry outside of my partner. When it comes to counseling, whether it's couples counseling or counseling by themselves. Most of the time, all the time we do couples counseling. Lady Joy and I do that together.
Yes.
If there's a young lady that wants to meet, then she's going to be in the room,
Exactly.
If there's a young man that wants to meet with myself, she may not be in the room, but she's going to be right close outside the door in case something pops up. And so what we do is we eliminate those style of distractions, where the Bible says even shun the very appearance of evil,
Yes.
Because, we have just, we've worked hard to get to where God has brought us, and we dare not allow anything to happen to, to disrupt and dismantle what we've been working really hard to build. So,
That was beautifully said. I had to throw that in there because that was what
People
question.
will try you.
Girl, come on now.
They test you gangster.
Trying to see if y'all really are who you say you
Yeah.
are.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you have those.
Absolutely.
And so you do. You got to talk about all of that stuff.
Yes,
Listen,
That's
can't
awesome.
nobody do nothing for me because the way I done seen this man,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? The way he's held me down, the
Come
way
on.
he has, been there
Come
supporting me,
on.
please. I couldn't. There'd be no possible way.
That is just so beautiful.
Yeah.
You guys, I have truly enjoyed talking to you
enjoyed
guys.
it.
Thank you so much.
Oh, the
Thank you.
transparency
Yeah.
is just, it is just phenomenal. You guys, your story. And like I said, I just know God is continuing on blessing you guys, restoring everything that you may have lost. But God is going to restore it all, restoring it all. And I just thank God for you guys. I thank you again for coming on to Mary Sisters Special Edition, you guys. And so I'm just truly thankful. There will be information at the end on where you can get this book from Pastor Henry McMullen, where it hurts, but it's necessary, and standing strong when God seems silent. This is a very inspirational book. It will encourage you, like you said, his story, and walk it through that, and just gain an insight for yourself. Like I said, I think this book will be very prevalent during the season of time that America is just even in, because a lot of people has dealt with a lot of unfortunate deaths because of the pandemic. And even before that, his story was before that, but being able to just surrender totally to the love of God, allowing God to just restore, be able to love again, blend families, and now on a greater level, they can reach greater people. And so it's just phenomenal. You got to get the book. There's information about them, their church, and their bio, you will see. And again, I want to say thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
That's just awesome. Awesome. Hi again, this is Becca Wilson. I truly hope you have enjoyed our show today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until next time, you be blessed and have a great day.